Christianity is the world's largest organized religion. There are around 2.1 billion Christians on the planet, and many of them make a living from the world's most popular sport, football. Some aspects of the modern commercialized game conflict quite severely with the teachings of Christianity, in which honesty and goodwill are central. Some players may even reach a point in their lives where they have to make a choice between their religious principles and the game they love. With the rise of evangelical sects within the Christian faith, the football field has also become a place where players who have these convictions attempt to preach the word of God. However, the powers that be in the football world have begun to take action against this particular practice. In the secular world of the beautiful game, you have to ask whether Christian football players are able to integrate their faith and their career, and with that in mind, whether the grassy pitches of the world stadia are the right place from which to deliver the message of God.
Yeah, the sign on my shirt and on my boots, there's no man greater than Almighty. To the sport, I want to show people that He is alive.
God is the most important thing than football. My religion is the most important thing in my life, for my whole life.
I make the sign of the cross before I go on the field, and I think that's, for me, important.
En este caso yo era un tipo más reservado, pero no quiere decir que por eso no estaba, o no tenía fe, o no tenía mi religión, o mis principios.
I think it might be an overreaction, but I understand where it comes from, and that FIFA is very sensitive not to offend people.
Lo que pasa es que Dios no le da plata a la FIFA.
Christian scholars trace the roots of the religion back to creation. Formal Christianity, however, began after the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, who is believed by Christians to be the Son of God, sent to earth to die for humanity's sins.
Christianity is the practice of the life lived according to the principles of Jesus, so it's very strongly focused around the teaching of Jesus, especially the teaching to love God and to love our neighbors.
The Christian faith spread from Jerusalem during the days of the Roman Empire, becoming the empire's state religion in the year 380. After the collapse of the empire, Christianity spread through Europe by means of conquest and conversion, and had such a major influence on the people of the world that over time it impacted on almost all human endeavor, including football. Many well-known clubs have their roots in churches, including Fulham FC in England, which originally formed in 1879 as Fulham St. Andrew's Church Sunday School FC. Similarly, in Dortmund, Germany, one of the most famous clubs from that country, Borussia Dortmund, was born out of a church community in 1909 and continues to have close ties with this faith.
Die Geschichte von Borussia Dortmund ist sehr eng an die Kirchengemeinde angebunden, weil die ersten Spieler aus einer Jugendgruppe dieser Gemeinde kommen, die von einem Kaplan, Hubert Dewald, geleitet wurde.
To Christians, Jesus Christ is seen as the epitome of virtue and the physical and spiritual incarnation of God. Through His Word, the Gospels of the New Testament in the Bible, Christians learn what it means to follow in His footsteps, and by accepting Him as their Lord and believing that He died on the cross, rose again, and then ascended to heaven to rule with God, they believe they have gained salvation. South African Steven Pienaar and South Korean Lee Yong-pyo, who both once played for Borussia Dortmund, are amongst the billions of people who have accepted this message.
How I got to my faith is through my mother. She's she believes in the Bible, and she's been on my case since I was younger than what I am now. But she used to tell me just read the Bible because I'm away from home, and the only thing that will get me through in difficult times is the Bible, and you must have faith in it.
So when I was 23 years old, I have met for the first time with Jesus, and it's surprised because I When I know about Jesus, I never accept Jesus live in us and then something created everything. It's never believe about it. But someday I was met Jesus, and it's very surprised for me, and then that's happened, changed my life and my thinking everything.
American Tim Howard, a teammate of Pienaar's at Everton FC in England, is another.
My grandmother was a very strong Christian woman, and within my family, certainly my mother had, who was brought up in the Catholic Church, had amazing values. And although we didn't go to church every weekend, she instilled those human values in us, in my brother and I, and we, knowing right from wrong and treating others the way you want to be treated, and really all the founding principles that Christ talked about and acted upon is how my mom brought us up. And so probably when I was around the age of 17, 18, I started to slowly make a conscious decision that was the path I wanted to walk.
Beginning in 1517, when Martin Luther tacked his 95 Theses on the doors of Castle Church in Wittenberg, Germany, the Christian church began to splinter into different denominations. Today, there are Catholics, Anglicans, Methodists, and many others, including evangelical groups who have a more flamboyant view of spreading the word of Jesus than the more traditional sects. In modern football, though, the idea of players preaching from the pitch seems a little out of place. With as much money involved in the sport as there is currently, unscrupulous behavior is often accepted on the field, which flies in the face of Christian teaching. But does having a strong belief in Christianity help the player who's a believer to be a better footballer?
Olha, eu vou te falar a verdade, é bom na vida particular mesmo, mas na vida de jogador